What makes a lake worthy of being listed in the top 10 water destinations in Utah? We're finding out today on At Your Leisure as we talk to the experts and learn what bodies of water have inspired each of them. I'm Stephen HEUMANN. Join me as I jump from one end of the state to the other in search of that perfect summer watering hole.
Then you'll want to follow me, Zach Cipriano, as I discover why the small town of Hyrum is the perfect gateway to off-road adventure.
Lastly, we'll find out how Zion National Park is partnering with private enterprise to make your dollar go further. It's all here right now on AYL. Memorial Day has always been the unofficial start of summer, when boaters are able to get their first taste of the water after a long season of dry dock. A day on the lake is unlike any other form of recreation. Families are together, enjoying their preferred thrill without having to even get off the boat. Dozens and dozens of lakes are scattered throughout Utah, some natural, some man-made, some famous, some completely unknown. Each one has a story to tell, but some of them are worth highlighting and putting on your list of favorites. And so that is what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look at the top 10 boating destinations in the state of Utah, where they are, what makes them special, and what you can do there. So how about we start right now?
If you're asking me about what type of boating, the top 10 places, depends on what type of boating you're wanting to do. If I want to go out and relax and enjoy and not have a stressful boating experience, I like Lost Creek Reservoir. And Lost Creek Reservoir is a reservoir where it's a wakeless reservoir, so you're not going to go out and ski and do all that kind of wakeboarding, surfing, but it's a very, very serene place. And I started going to this reservoir when I was 4 years old with my dad. And it's just northeast of Croydon, it's Lost Creek Reservoir. If you're asking me if I want to go out and surf and ski and explore and wave runners and do all sorts of fun stuff like that, Lake Powell is definitely my favorite place to boat in this entire country. It's the largest shoreline lake in the United States, even bigger than any of the Great Lakes. I have been there over 1,000 times.
Well, my favorite's Bear Lake. It's a very big lake. The water's so pretty. It's big enough that even with a lot of people, you can still have a good time and not be too crowded.
It's like an emerald blue or turquoise blue, and the bottom is just clear white sand, so it's just brilliant blue colors.
But it is cold though. That is one drawback to Bear Lake.
Jordanelle is one of the top state parks in Utah. I love the scenery, I love the views, I love the water. I've been a boater and a camper my whole life and love this environment. We have a beautiful public beach area with a playground and cabana facilities.
One of my favorites is Utah Lake, and a lot of people don't go down there because they're afraid of the water. It's a shallow lake, but I like it because of that. It doesn't have the pressure a lot of the lakes have, and I like the fish, so it has a variety of fish.
On a lake, when you're on a boat, the entire family, one place, one time, you're together all the time. Most of the time you don't have cell phone service, so you can just be with your family and you can enjoy and make lifelong memories.
Well, there is our first 5, but there are tons of lakes in Utah, obviously, and we can't put them all on the top 10. This is one of them. This is Panguitch Lake, a beautiful area just outside of Panguitch, Utah on Highway 89. Perfect place for the family, great for fishing, and absolutely gorgeous. Well, we're going to continue our top 10 a little bit later in the show, but right now we've got to go off to our travel adventure. We're hitting the dirt and finding out a little bit more about the town of Hyrum. Welcome back to At Your Leisure, everybody. We're having a great time talking about the top 10 boating destinations in the state of Utah. But I also wanted to point out that we couldn't put every lake on that list, and this is one of them. This is Tropic Reservoir. Great place to come out with the family, very beautiful, and only about 20 miles from Bryce Canyon National Park, so great place to come. But we are concentrating on our top 10 today, so why don't we continue with that list right now?
I probably, better than most people, had a chance to see almost all the lakes because I was commissioned to write a book on boating, well, probably, 17, 18 years ago. I kind of like the unusual lake, and there are a couple of them that really stand out in my mind. One of them is Navajo Lake. And this is a lake that's not going to be good for speed boating. It's not going to be good for water skiing because it's at 9,000 feet above sea level. It's up at the top of the canyon on Highway 14 outside of Cedar City, and it sits right up on a plateau. There's a little lodge out there, and it's just a place to take a small boat.
I'd have to say Flaming Gorge. It's not too hot. There's a lot of beautiful places to go see around the lake. It's not very crowded, and I like to camp up there at nighttime. It's great sleeping weather.
Well, Hyrum's a nice lake too. Again, it's close, but yet it doesn't get the crowds that some of the big lakes get. It's just perfect for water sports. You can do all the water sports activities. You can fish, you can camp, and it's not that far. So yeah, the campground's right on the water. It's right by the launch ramp, so you can camp and then have your boat just not very far away from your camp spot. The thing I liked is it wasn't very crowded.
The one that I think that might be unknown is the reservoir in Mantua. I don't see a lot of boats going there, but it's smooth. You hardly ever get any wind, and it's just an all-around great lake for wakeboarding and fishing and everything.
Another one that I think is just really underrated, and it's a unique lake because there are only 2 lakes that you can actually live on the shore of and have shoreline property with your own docks in Utah. One of them is Bear Lake, and the other one is in Gunnison Bend, which is out in Delta. And that's a little horseshoe lake. You know, you get out there, there's one launch ramp that's run by a city park, and you think, well, this thing's too small to even water ski on, but it's horseshoe shaped. And so you're looking across the flat, you see these houses on the other side, and you're seeing less than half the lake.
Every time you go to a new place, it changes with the water levels. Go to the same spot, but it's like a new spot because of the shorelines change and all that. So just love it. Love to swim and just be with my family on the lake.
I just love finding out about why people love certain places, you know, whether it's a boating destination or whatever, because they always have these personal connections with their parents or with kids, or with Chad, for example. I mean, you would never know that he actually wrote a book on every single lake in Utah, and he has a personal story for every single one. And it's so great to hear those stories and to then go out and make your own at your own favorite destination. Well, we got to go off to our trailhead adventure brought to you by RockyMountainATVMC.com. Now, there's been a lot of talk about our national parks like Zion and Bryce raising their prices, but some partnerships that are on the way are actually keeping that from happening and allowing you to enjoy these parks at the same price. It's always great finding out about new destinations, and I've had so much fun today learning about all of these different lakes, many of which I've never been to. Now, if you have a favorite, and I'm sure you do, get on Facebook and tell us what it is, because we want to know what you guys love and the experiences you've had out on the water. Well, that's the end of this week's show. Thanks for watching. I'm Stephen HEUMANN, and as we always say, get out there and create your own adventure at your leisure. 20 miles down that way, so you can put it as a pod. No.
Hey, stop it! Stop it right now!
There's got to be a glossary in this thing.